What's going on, guys? Let me make sure. Hey, look at that. Microphone's actually working this time. What's going on, man? How you guys doing out there? What is new? Yeah, I'm back again. Look at this. 2 days in a row. Oh, look at that. I'm just... Okay. Still working on the new setup. And the mic casting a nice shadow there. Okay. We're all good. What are you guys up to? How's it going out there? Happy Wednesday to everyone. Or as I like to say, Cheap Taco Wednesday. So I'm having cheap tacos for dinner. Yeah. What are you guys up to? What's going on? I am Shock of all shocks, plugging away on Trouble Troubles. Let me start off with get the bad news out of the way. As is the nature of the visual effects industry. If you guys remember on Monday, I sort of hinted at the fact that there was one project that I was shooting for that was going to be a fun little side project that had to do with doing visual effects, TV show, that kind of stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, since I said that, maybe I jinxed it, but unfortunately, it went away. So, well, the good news is that means more time to finish up this triple game. But it's a damn shame because I was actually looking forward to working on that project, making the time and getting it done. But you know, it's just kind of the way it works sometimes. So, unfortunately, not going to happen, but that's all right. Once the show comes out, we'll see. I have to go check and see if they actually did anything with it or they just scrapped the idea. And once it happens, I'll maybe discuss it. But nature of the business, that has always been part of VFX, right? You go after some shots, you after some shows, and sometimes it don't happen. But no big deal. We'll get all into this. So if you guys were around Monday, you know that I did a big recap on all the stuff I've been doing over the last several months since I was last hanging out with you guys. And where I left off was I was talking about the fact that I was updating all of the spaceship levels. Primarily the fact that most of the content was not prefab. And the reason why, just to refresh your memory, because I did my own level editor, and the way I was building levels was I was doing like a drag and drop from the live scene into my hierarchy, into the project, excuse me, and it would drag it over there, but it would, any existing prefabs would get broken in that process. So that was the downside to doing that, but, you know, I mean, it made the level development go really fast, but at the cost of actually having prefabs. So now I've had to go back and redo them, and I finished yesterday, and I started the process of going back and actually making sure I didn't screw too much up. And of course I did. There was definitely some screw ups in there, and checking those out. I just loaded this up right before I started, and just to give you an example of some screw ups, you'll get to see some right here. So I have, I don't know if you can see it, but I have 24 levels for this spaceship, and right now I think I'm up to 15. Yeah, so 15 is where I was testing, and I just fired this up a minute ago, and tell you what, I will not subject you guys to the audio right now because we're looking at visual screw-ups. So for like number one, the cat is just hanging out. So that's one thing I gotta address, right? So I have a laundry list. So each shot that I've updated, I have to check several things. So that's one. Obviously, he's not doing anything. I gotta make sure that the glommers updated are all running the right direction. They can turn around and go the wrong way if I screw up the settings, which is totally possible. And then here you go, switchers. So at this point, the switchers should be toggling not some, but yes, all of the electricity. And you can see, like, let me get my cursor here. This guy ain't doing nothing, right? As is this guy over here. So that's wrong as well. So those just a couple things I'm gonna have to address. It's not that he's dead. It's just there's a trigger that is right now not active, so he just kind of hangs out. He's still in quasi sleep mode, but we'll fix that right now. So let's fire this up. And once again, this sort of reiterates. Wait, why haven't you released the game yet? Because of stuff like this. All right. So first things first, let's go into Wake Up Cat. And all Wake Up Cat is, as you see here, is a giant box collider, right? And I made this just the reason why it's when you come up in the doorway, you hit the box and it wakes the cat up. The reason why it's humongous is that way it doesn't matter which level, which entrance it comes in on the level. This thing just covers it. So rather than have to worry about every time sliding the box over and forgetting to do it, if I just made it humongously wide, and once it fires, it should actually remove itself, I think. I think that's the way I wrote the script. So it just shuts itself down once it fires. Yeah, so it just turns itself off. Right? So it's not like I have to worry about this collider box firing endlessly when the cat goes into it. But here's the issue. See? So this was part of my laundry list on each level. One of the things was to actually attach the cat. So did that. So that one was an easy fix. Next thing is let's go ahead and go into our switch groups and let's look here. And interesting, it looks like, oh, you know what it's doing? It looks like I doubled up on some of these, right? So if you look right up in here, and if I go down this list, it looks like a couple of them are getting pinged more than once, I think. So yeah, so let's go ahead and just drag and drop these bad boys, like so. Oops, wrong thing. 3, 4, 5, and finally 6. There you go. 2, 3, and there we go. Okay, so now in theory that should make all these guys work correctly. So let's save that and try this again. And now we should not only have the cat chasing us, but when I hit the switchers, right, we should have, oh, look at that. God, there he goes. Had just like the little hint of the microphone in there. Now the electricity should swap correctly. Let's find out. Boom. There it goes. Yep. So you can see everyone's now switching, doing what they're supposed to. There it goes. All right. So then other things to check are things like me being able to open the door, which you see right there. There, door's open. And now the cat's going to go back and close it on me. There. So also, there's a shadow that's around the door. I had to make sure that that was fixed. I got that back into the prefab, so that's working correctly. So those are the key things. I got to go into each one of these. And if I want to be a stickler, the shadow, I mean, this is like really kind of anal, but the shadow kind of sticks out right there. And on this one as well, kind of missed that. So let me just clean that up. I mean, this is nitpick kind of aesthetic stuff, but I just assume have it looking nice. So let's go ahead and who did I say that? You know what? I keep doing that. Let me just. There you go. Okay. So who is this? What did I say this was? 15. So let's go back into our levels. Spaceship. 15. And yeah, so I got 9 more. And if I didn't screw up at all, then this is going to be like minutes before I'm done. Yeah, I don't have much hope of that being the case, so we'll see. Alright, so I was going to clean up. So this is just a matter of coming in here and hey, Roddock, what's up? Yeah, it's been a while, man, hasn't it? Yeah, I was doing apologies yesterday. It was a couple of factors that played into it. Mainly was just a matter of some stuff that happened behind the scenes, but also the fact that I picked up a bunch of freelance work, which was good to get some bills paid. So I jumped all over that for a while, but earned enough money that I could stop doing it, which is funny. This is true, actually. When all the shows actually come out that I worked on, when they actually come out, I'll spill the beans on all the details, but the shows are still going on. I had a contract that was originally supposed to go for 2 weeks and ended up going for over 2.5 months. And after squirreling away enough cash and my intended release date for the game coming up, I actually told them I'm going to go ahead and not request not to get renewed again, because the way it works traditionally is you don't sometimes with a freelance job you kind of get extended piecemeal, right? So you go like a couple of weeks and go, hey, we just extended another two weeks, that kind of thing. So I actually coming up at the end of January, I said, hey guys, I need to get back to finishing my game, so please don't extend me again, which we'll see. And you know, I mean, this is one reason I do this for posterity, so I can look back and see if this was a wise choice or an idiot choice, because I walked away from at least several months worth of more work, but the purpose was to, well, the purpose was to make some money, right? And the purpose was also to work on some fun TV shows, which I got to, and then earn enough cash that I can come back and work on this game and not worry about paying the electric bill, that kind of stuff. But so yeah, we'll see sometime in the future. If I look back and kind of go, damn, I really should have just stuck it out and earned more cash, or if it was like, yeah, no, that was good. Yep, it was good to finish up the game, get out the door. So, Rodok, what's up with you, man? How you doing? How you been? Yeah, it was. I didn't mean to take that much time off. I really did not. But it's got bogged down by a bunch of different things. But I'm here again, just doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Doing fine. Glad to hear it, man. Anything going on in your end of the world? Let me know if anything interesting. For me, it was, like I said, it was not supposed to be that long, but happy to be back. So I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, doing much more shorter version. I'm just going to do basically an hour-ish if I'm in the middle of trying to finish something, or if the conversation is going on, then I won't nuke it at 1 hour, but I'm just going to be doing a 1 hour kind of thing. So most of this is kind of like just reviewing what I've been working on, and then just doing a little bit of work, and then getting the heck out of Dodge until the next time. So anyways, so I just came in, and the shadows here, just little tweaks. So 15 we can mark done. So let's come over to 16, switch it over in our scripts here. Excuse me, 16 LL. All right. Oh, sorry, itchy nose. All right. Let's see how much I screwed 16 up. We'll start with see if the cat wakes up when I jump up here. Nope. Okay. So once again, I forgot to attach the cat to the wake up cat object. It looks like all the electricity is toggling. By followers, yeah, you know what? I don't think so. How do I? Let's see. Oh, they've changed the. Actually, they've changed this, haven't they? There we go. Bye-bye. Here we go. And bye-bye. Thanks for coming by, but yeah, no thanks. No buying whatevers. Nope. Alright. So it looks like you can see the electricity here is swapping correctly. So we got that working, which is nice. Right. And the door. Oops. Oh. Yeah, Glommer's awake. So the door's working nicely. The cat's just kind of stuck there. He's just going to sit there and endlessly swing away at me. Alright. So that's good. I think everything else is good. So let's go ahead and get our cat alive and kicking. And then this one should be pretty good. I don't see any shadows anywhere that needs cleaning up. Nope, looks like I already did that. Yep, that one I guess I could. That's not too bad. Alright, so we'll leave that. So let's go ahead and get the cat wired up. And what did I say? Is it 16? Alright, and then wake up cat. And connect him. Try this again, and now we should see the cat waking up and chasing my butt all over the place. Yep, there he goes. Yay. Alright. So, and I'm muting it now. I don't really need to check the audio because the audio stuff is all built into the prefab. If I know the prefab is behaving... Oh, actually the shadow's sticking out a little bit there. If the prefab is behaving, then I know I'm all good. Let me see if the cat closes his door back. He does, so that's all good. So let's fix those two little shadows there. Alright. So specifically right here. Like so. And squish him down a little bit. Drag him over here. Maybe kind of cheat it downward like so. Done. Alright. So 16 is alive and kicking. So let's go ahead and switch over to 17. So 17 LL. So the LLLR, if it doesn't register, it's just the entrance and exit. So I use those as sort of like naming conventions that tip off the script. So it looks at those and figures out how to, who's doing the art for the game? That's a fine question. A lot of the stuff you see here is done by an exceptionally talented individual named Daniel Thomas. Daniel's a guy that I've worked with for over a decade now in my game development stuff. He actually worked on my very first game, which came out, what, 12 years ago now? 10 years ago. 11. God. 11 years ago. So Daniel did a lot of the art you see here. I did the animation and a little bit of the little art bits here and there, but mostly what you see right here is courtesy of the very talented Daniel Thomas. If you're a Unity user, you can actually see Daniel has some art for sale in the asset store as well, which is really pretty. He does some isometric art stuff in there. So yeah, as I mentioned before, is you know, if I get some freelance work and I get some money in the bank, then the first thing I do is turn around to those guys. Do I have a link? Oh, to Daniel's stuff? Yeah, sure. This art. I'm always happy to plug him. There you go. There is the fine and talented. And tell you what, here you go. Here's a quick rundown. This guy is amazingly talented, right? So this is all him. So if the budget ever permits, if I ever have any cash in the bank, then I definitely run over to Daniel. And if I can get him, that's yeah. Oh yeah, you're welcome, man. So the catch for Daniel is the fact that if you look at this beautiful art, you go, oh my God, I want to use him. Good luck, wait in line. You know, I've contacted him times in the past, and it's kind of like, hey, Daniel, you got some time to work on something? He goes, yeah, I'm booked for 3 months, but, you know, if you can wait, which is not surprising. This is the stuff that you can find in the Unity asset store that he sells. Some really nice top-down art stuff, so. But just amazingly talented. I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, his color sense is absolutely fantastic. So, it's just, even if his schedule doesn't permit, I at least try and get him to help do some concept art and stuff like that, just so I can help get his color sense and just infused in my games, because it's just amazingly good at that. So there you go. There is Mr. Daniel Thomas. All right, so let's fire this bad boy up. And once again, I forgot to attach the cat. Alright, electricity looks like it's switching nicely. Like that. Let's check our glommers. Make sure. Oh, he's going a little far, isn't he? I didn't really check the other ones. That's kind of bad. Yeah, I need to kind of tuck that back in a little bit. He's kind of reaching a little far there. So squish him. Make sure this one's behaving. Yep. Nice. Nice. Toggling. Good. Oops. Hit this one. Ooh. Get shot. Doors opening. Good. Okay. So let's go ahead and fix the cat as well as that glommer garment. Just a little too far there. What did I say? 17, right? Yeah. So let's check on our glommer here, and we have his left and right range. The left is obviously just a little too far there. There. That should be good. And if we go to Wake Up Cat and make sure we get that assigned like so. Double check. Now we should be good. Yep, cat's moving. He keeps fighting me. He keeps trying to toggle the switches so he can get to me. Jerk. Yeah, that's better. You see now he's not like going way past it. Have released other games before? I have. I have. This is actually going to be game number 7 for me. Here you go. Do scaryrobot.com. There's a blatant plug. Give you a quick look. Games. There you go. So, there you go. Some of my previous games. My last game was called Volley Village, which is sort of like a real-time 3D online multiplayer game where you have these 2 islands, and then you're basically trying to knock out your opponent's buildings before they knock out yours. And free-to-play, cross-platform for iOS and Android. My intention was to actually go further and do it for PC if it found an audience, but because I shifted gears and switched over to Tribbles so quickly, then I basically didn't get to push this one as much as I did. But I may come back and revisit this one in the future and expand this beyond just mobile. But and then Tribbles, oh, I haven't mentioned that lately, have I? So there's plenty of people that probably don't know. Tribbles actually come from the classic TV show Star Trek, which I can show you here. There you go. So Tribbles came from a over 50-year-old episode called The Trouble with Tribbles from the classic Star Trek TV show. And before you go, wait, aren't you getting sued? No. I actually have an agreement, a partnership with David Gerald, the gentleman who actually wrote the screenplay for The Trouble with Tribbles, and he actually has the agreement with CBS, which allows me to make a game very specific, though. That's the rub, is the fact that I have the rights to Tribbles, the name, the likeness, not even the sound. I had to recreate the sound myself, but also Glommers. So Glommers, there was a short-lived animated Star Trek show. Glommers were invented by the Klingons, which are sort of the natural enemy for Tribbles, and they genetically engineered Glommers to eat Tribbles. So that's the extent of my Star Trek license, basically. That, oh, and Quadritriticale, the grain that Tribbles like to eat. So those 3 items are the extent of my license, but that was sort of like why I shifted gears. When that actually came to fruition and we actually signed the agreement and I was able to do it, I completely shifted gears and went whole hard, just completely invested into getting Tribbles developed. And took longer than I wanted to. Still, what are we at? About like 2 years now? Almost 2 years. But I am dangerously close to getting a version out on Steam that I'll put in the playtest, so you guys will be able to play the game for free, the entire game. They'll be missing a few bells and whistles, mainly like some cutscenes and stuff like that, like I talked about before. High score tables. But this game, the first PC... Oh, that is true. Yes. Yes, you were totally correct. You busted me on that one for sure. Yeah, for the last decade, mobile has been good enough for, just doing, casual game development for like a one-person kind of thing. But what happened was when I got Tribbles, then I realized that there was potential to get on these other platforms. And yeah, so as you can see up there, right, so this one is, I'm scheduled for Xbox as well as the Switch. I finally got the Switch license. I was licensed for Wii U for a long time, but when I sent them Tribbles, I was able to get them to okay it for the Switch as well. But yeah, so this is also going to be my first game since a decade ago where it's going to be premium, right? It's not going to be free to play. It's going to be premium. What'll probably happen on the mobile side is that it'll be a free downloadable, and you'll get a part of the game, and then you'll just pay a one-time fee to unlock the full game. And so it's my first premium game in a decade, but this is kind of the avenue I want to go to, anyways. If you, I don't know if you're a developer yourself, but if you've played with free-to-play and with ad stuff, it has just gotten so insanely hard because the big companies have gotten so good at spending a lot of their money that they make and getting more people in, to download the game. And so unless you're spending, I mean, we're talking massive amounts of money. I know everyone loves showing the numbers that mobile games make, but they're spending so much money to make that money. That's just beyond us normal people. So I like the idea of trying to shift more towards premium. And you also have the new Apple thing, right? You have the new Apple thing where they're killing, for the most part, your ability to have any kind of tracking of the individual. right? Unless you get them to volunteer, yes, please track me, which is not going to happen, which means that those that are living exclusively off of, oh, you're hobbyists. Okay, cool. Well, then I don't, you probably know this, but you know, it's Apple's new changes are making it so ad revenues are going to absolutely plummet, you know, and that's why Facebook has gotten like nuclear on them, screaming at them, saying that you guys are just destroying us and this is just wrong and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, if you cannot track an individual, which is funny because I'm sure Apple, oh, Apple doesn't track any information on you, of course not. Yeah. But, you know, if you cannot track an individual and have at least a general idea of who they are, what their interests might be, right? Then how are you supposed to target ads that are relevant to those individuals, you know? So that said, it's going to make free-to-play or ad-supported games exceptionally hard to make money off of. And it was hard to begin with, right? But yeah, so you're a hobbyist. Okay. Are you a Unity or Unreal or other? Or are you just tinkering around? If I can motivate you in any way, shape, or form to keep doing it, Unity. There you go. Definitely do it. That's cool. Are you just sort of like doing general ideas, or are you working on a specific game, or like just where are you at with that? You may have told me a million years ago, but I barely remember what I had for lunch last week. So if it's been a while, I may not have any recollection of it. So please refresh my memory if you did before. Oh, mostly game jams. Okay, sweet. Well, I mean, there's absolutely fantastic examples of games coming out of game jams. Do you want to check? Yeah, sure. Yeah, show me a link. But like, yeah, Superhot is a perfect example of a game jam game, right? That got converted into a full-on game. And Cannabolt. Let's check it out. There you go. Oh, sweet. Browser-based games. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, dude, that looks great. So were you doing all the art and everything, or were you part of a group of individuals, or we'll try it out here. I'm a gamer. Let's see how bad I suck at this. Made in one day. Nice. Nice bloom there. Press space to play. Press R to restart. Oops. Actually get the focus on the window. Oh, got it. Oh, sweet. Get myself some food here. Boom. Oh. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to hit him, but I'm taking more damage than delivering. You worked with an artist I met online on a Twitch chat. Nice. Alright, am I gonna get him? Here he goes. Oh! Alright, I think I got taken out there. That's nice. I like the simple one press play mechanic for sure. There you go, get myself more health. Oh, I missed him. Look out. Uh-oh. Yeah, it took him out. This is fun. I'm sure there's a strategy to it that I'm totally missing. I'm just kind of letting it happen. Worked on this game for 10 hours max. It's pretty basic. But, I mean, it plays well. You know, it's... I mean, yeah, this is perfect for Game Jam for sure. Yeah, I guess I don't do damage if I hit the gloves, right? You have to hit the head. I'm kind of getting a sense of that. Oh! Jerk. Got him. There he goes. Cool. That's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, and for 10 hours, that's fantastic. I did one game jam. I guess at this point it's what, like 2 years ago, at least a year and a half ago, obviously pre-COVID, where me and one other friend, we did an actual VR game, where you had to like find parts that were color coded and fix them and repair them, and yeah, it was exhausting, but they are fun. They are definitely fun. All right, and I totally lost my train of thought here. So 17, did I fix? I think there was like one shadow that I noticed, or maybe not. Wake up cat. Yeah, he's good. Sweet. So are there any other game jams coming up that you're looking at? I haven't like toyed with the idea of even doing one lately. Alright, yeah, so 17 is good. Let's bounce on an 18 LR. Left to right. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Oh. Man, I miss, you know what? Sorry, little diatribe here, but I miss one of the older versions of Unity where you could hit that while it was building, you could still hit it and it would buffer it. Right? There's the Brackeys Game Jam and Wowie Game Jam from two popular YouTubers. So wait, so there's still a Game Jam because Brackeys shut down, right? The main guy, he pretty much called it a day, didn't he? Which is a shame because, I mean, you know, I know some of those tutorials are absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Oh, he's stuck. All right. So I gotta fix that. Looks like we're toggling okay though. Yeah. And is the door opening? The door is opening. All right. So I said that was 18. Lucchini's back. What's up? How you doing, man? So yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's kind of like he's gone, but his game jam lives on. I don't know if that's because the wheels were already in motion for that, or if it's just someone else that took over. I mean, I guess there's a big difference between a game jam versus tutorial videos. Doing good. Just finished an episode of his Dark Materials. How you doing? Doing well. If you remember Monday, I was talking about how I had to like update all the objects and make sure they were all prefabs. Finished that. Now I'm going back and checking and finding all the stuff that I screwed up and missed. So I'm just cleaning up at this point. But so Dark Materials, you actually like that? It looked a little darker Harry Potter kind of show to me, but you can tell me if I'm wrong about that. All right. So Wake Up Cat is missing his connection, like so. And so he's gonna be good now. Alright, and let's see if he will walk his way over to the door. And ow, squished. Done. Okay, now he's gonna come. There we go. Don't see connection to Harry Potter other than British, but the show is really, really good. Oh, okay. So, okay, give me an elevator pitch, as they say, right? You know, just in like 2 lines, give me an idea of the gist of it. From what I read and what I hear, making money as game dev is pretty much impossible. It is a challenge. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm subsidizing it. You know, it's, oh wait, where are you going, dude? Wait, why did you not go to the... Uh-oh. Okay, that's wrong. Apparently he doesn't know where he goes to it, but he doesn't actually activate it. So that would be a full-on bug. But yeah, as I was sort of hinting at before, I'm not sure if you were there for it, but so I do animation. That's sort of my day job over the last 20 plus years. So what I'll do is sometimes I'll take the freelance animation work and grab onto those and work like crazy, build up more cash, and then just put it back into the game dev stuff. But yeah, it's a super big challenge. It really is a super big challenge. And I'm hoping that premium is the better way to go now. This is going to be my big experiment to see if you can, and by doing so many platforms, because I was only doing iOS and Android in the past, that does limit how much potential money you can make. But, as you look up there and you see I'm, shooting for 5 different markets at this go round. If the game does well and Sony Sony's a little more kinder to me, I'll go back and reconnect with Sony and maybe even do a PS version if the desire is there, but we'll see. Okay, I'm falling behind. Multiple worlds. The one we start with is similar to ours, but the people have a daemon, an animal companion that is an extension of themselves, and upon being an adult transforms into something that reflects your character. They also speak, the animals, and if one of them dies, the other dies too. Oh, that sucks. Wow. So it's sort of like a giant escort mission. My thing I hate most in video games, because you're like going for cover and the person you're supposed to be protecting walks out in the middle of a line of fire, and you have to redo it a million times. That's cool. What is it on? I don't. So I'm like a Netflix, Amazon, Hulu kind of person, but I don't think it's actually on any of those. I pray the game you're creating turns out okay, and a lot of people buy it. Dimensionless, thanks, man. It looks great. Oh, it's HBO. Okay, yeah, I don't have HBO. I used to get access to screeners. I was like a Television Academy member, but I'm actually, for the first time, how long has it been? I've been a Television Academy member for 15 years, but I'm actually going to let it lapse this year, just because I'm, streaming. It's just sort of easier just to buy it that way. Do you know the movie the Golden Compass? Yeah. Okay, the movie is basically season 1 of his Dark Materials. Got it. Okay, yeah. Golden Compass has Daredevil in it, right? That was precursor to Daredevil, I think. Am I confusing my fantasy movies? You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Compass. I am confusing it. Okay, crap. Oh, got it. Right. Golden Compass. Now I remember. Got it. Okay. Yep, thanks for correcting me. Damn. Getting old and senile sucks, man. Yeah, okay. Got it. Cool, okay. Well, if I ever grab HBO again, I'll definitely give it a shot. Or maybe if it actually comes up on one of the other streaming channels. There's a book trilogy, and the Golden Compass has the story of the first book, and it got it. TV show is his Dark Materials, which has 2 seasons, and we'll get a 3rd, but might be more. Oh, that's awesome. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, I know it's gotten good reviews, but I guess that's the key thing. It has all the good stuff. The Wire, yeah. Well, The Wire is now available on Netflix now, right? I think Wire and Sopranos. So I think if you just wait 8 years, it'll get there. Game of Thrones. Yeah, my wife was big into that one. Oh, not in Germany. Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. It is weird how it's very regional, right? How some shows make it to some places and some don't. But and then Westworld, Westworld, I got to watch season 3 on my final year of the Television Academy stuff, so I did get to watch season 3, but I missed season 2, so there was a lot of context that I was missing out on. But The Wire, absolutely love that, man. That was a brilliant show. Yeah, basically it sort of introduced us all to Idris Elba for sure. That was an early kind of thing for him, right? Played just an amazingly charismatic bad guy, I guess. All right, so did I fix this yet? Yeah, I did. In Germany, well, basically most of Europe, we have Sky TV, okay, which is cable and online streaming that have rights to almost everything. There you go. Yeah, a million years ago, I had the good fortune of working on the rebooted version of Battlestar Galactica. And so for us here in the U.S., it was all sci-fi, but I remember that Sky was broadcasting it on the other side of the pond, so to speak. But and I think actually the Sky version had a different intro on their music as well. But yeah, that's tough. So you either have Sky or you get Not much. Wow. But okay. Oh, I guess that's for first run and that kind of stuff. But some of that has to make its way. I assume if you have like one of the streaming networks, like Hulu or something like that, you can probably pick up HBO. Or maybe it's just a U.S. thing. I don't know. You can clarify that for me. But yep. Now, right now I'm just sort of going through. I did it backwards. They was it Amazon did a remake of oh shoot, Utopia, right? And I watched the American version first, and now I'm going back and watching the British version, which I'm liking so much better. They do that a lot, changing music and stuff, but sometimes it can be better, sometimes obviously worse. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Utopia is a fun, dark little show. The American version, I think, kind of it tried to keep some of the weirdness to it, but it kind of also went in weird, almost borderline campy ways, I think. SpongeBob TV show, there is a normal line in the original, but in the German they added an extra joke, which is still being used as a joke in German 20 years later. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. We didn't mean to create just the classic meme, but, you know, there you go. That's great. That is the definition of the law of unintended consequences, right? Okay. So let's see. So here he comes. You come down here and bug me, buddy? Oops. I keep trapping him. We're fighting. Here he comes. He's coming. Oh, that's right. No, I forgot. I forgot. I gotta get him behaving where he hits the door and doesn't even acknowledge it. I gotta deal with that, don't I? So, yep. I got lost in conversation and completely sidetracked. So let's figure out why. Hopefully this is just an assignment issue, because otherwise it should be just working. Computer group. Crap, it's there. One annoying thing is, though, if you watch stuff in German, you only have like 100 voice actors, so you often hear the same voices, especially in major movies and shows. Off-putting, so I switched to original voice only. Yeah, I never watched dubbed. I'm not a fan of dubbed because invariably the performance seems to be completely wrong. So I much prefer the original language with subtitles. I think because just from attitude and the delivery, I think it's radically different from the original performer, whatever language they're doing, versus the dubbed version. All right. So why won't this jerk actually hit? Tell you what. Let's go ahead. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to cheat this. Let me fire it up here real quick. Do you have an idea how to estimate Steam sales based on reviews? Because some say you multiply it by 50, but when I asked game devs and watched some YouTubers about how much their games made, I found that you multiply it by 7. Yeah, it's I don't think there is a 1-to-1 ratio, right? You could have some people that buy the game but just don't ever bother to write the reviews. So I think both could be true, just depending on the game. But I think generally speaking, I think it'd be closer to the 7 than it would be the 50. Maybe I'd heard numbers more like 15, right? But 15 or 20, but I think 50 is probably optimistic. But I don't know, since I've not actually released on Steam yet. Coming, but not yet. So I can't speak from personal experience yet, of course. All right. So what we're gonna do here is let me pause this, grab my cat, drag him. Yeah, I'm gonna toss him right here. Alright. Alright, so let's figure out what the heck is going on here. Wait. Why is he not? Interesting. Okay, for some reason, it's not picking up on the computer being activated. So that's probably somewhere in here that I screwed that up. No, that's good. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna turn this cheat back on. Delete me. Oops. Come out of here. The prefab, I want to be in here. I have my little delete me text, which I use as a catch-all, just to throw up stuff like that. Let me get to my Space Cat. So I figure it's a target issue, and it's not switching. Let's see. Text. That's weird. Okay, so let me try this again. Current target. This is kind of disconcerting because unless I just forgot an assignment somewhere, a connection, I don't know why. Go target player. Switcher. Let's get sharper here. Make this go faster. Target equals. Yeah, clean all this crap up here. There, computer. Oh crap, I just copy pasted, so actually that one's gonna be wrong. The switcher. I gotta go back and correct that. Switcher. Okay. Player. Oh, okay, yeah, we got that one correct. Let's go find that switcher. Fix him. Alright, so now it's going to update this little text here at the bottom and show what its current target is. I was going to go into this, originally I was going to go into this today, but I got sidetracked with this cleanup. I was going to talk about how I redid the AI yet again. And the key thing I changed, which was a smart move and should have done it this way in the first place, was originally... Oh, wait, we got errors right here. Okay. Oh, wait, what? Is it the delete me text it doesn't like, or does it not have... Oh. If GC... Wait, no, that should be legit. No, wait a second. Hold on. Why the heck does he not have that already attached? Oh, that could be it. Oh, crap. That could definitely be it. I may have just found it. No. So he has level manager attached, so that's good. So what the heck do you not like? The GC. Oh, wait. Okay, so is it the GC it doesn't have? 18. So originally what I was doing was he updates his waypoints only when he hits one of the edges. And I was getting a lot of race conflicts where certain requests like attack, shoot, take damage, that kind of stuff would sort of like conflict with the finding the new waypoint and moving to it, and they would. That's why the cat would kind of take off on me sometimes. But this... Okay. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, so I know what happened here. So we're trying to do requests before it even gets a chance to grab the GC. So if we have the game controller, then do that. There he goes. So let's put that on all the other ones so it behaves. Just a sec here. So this is, unfortunately, these days, this is as close as I normally get to video games, which is sort of like the world's most boring puzzle game or something. There you go. Yep, we're all good. Okay, so now it's only going to update that delete me text when it actually grabs the game controller. All right. There we go. No error there. So he's targeting the player right now. Good. So now if I come over here, it should say target. See, that's right there. Why is it not switching? It should be targeting computer. So for example, if I just switch it back, 18, so we go back to 17. Make sure I'm not going crazy here. So how many times did you have to actually watch the Tribbles episode in order to learn the source material of it? No. I grew up on that show, man. I grew up on the original Star Trek. I'm old. So for me, it was, I mean, you know, I knew it like the back of my hand. True funny story, too. Actually, I got to tell this one because this is such a classic one. Wait, let me check this real quick just to make sure that something bigger hasn't broken yet. Come on down, buddy. He's gonna come down here. One sec. Got a funny story. There you go. He's going switcher. Now he's going computer. Okay, good. So the code does work. So there's something in 18 that's broken. All right. So I'm gonna digress into a quick funny story here. So my wife and I live in Las Vegas now, right? But for a bunch of years we were living in LA, and we came out to Vegas to visit. And at the time, at the Hilton, which is LVH, and then now it's the Westgate, I guess. But they had a Star Trek exhibit, right? And they had these virtual kind of shows that you go on, which were fantastic, right? And what was so funny is that by this point, it was kind of sad, but no one was attending it anymore, right? And this is when it was like days away from being shut down, right? Which is sad. But it just didn't have the attendance. So we go on it, and we actually go a couple of times because they just let you go, right? And there's no line, so you just go every time. But we finish and we go into the gift shop. Excuse me. And what's so funny is that it's just my wife and I, right? And the guy behind the counter, right? And my wife was actually decked out. I think she was like even wearing like a little Star Trek-y kind of outfit, right? Just to totally sell the whole geekness. So the guy behind the counter looks, and he's just kind of going, I want her. You know, it's just like, oh my God. You know, but then there was like this barrel full of all of those Tribbles, right? And it was like you pick it up, and, you know, if you pet it, it would like vibrate, right? And then she picks it up, and she starts quoting the episode, right? He doesn't like you, right? And she's making all these lines, and the guy behind the counter is just kind of going, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, I know, man. I know, it's good to be me. You know, it's really good to be me. So anyways, long story short is the fact that, you know, because we really grew up on the original series, for me, Next Gen, this will date me like crazy. Next Gen came out when I was already in college. So, what? Yeah, don't do the math. So for me, it was not a big issue. And to be honest, also the key thing was just because we're not really allowed to pull any other content from Star Trek into the game, right? I mean, there's no references to any of the characters. There's no Kirk, Spock, no Enterprise, you know. So it's more or less just sort of like tying into the folklore of how they love to eat the QTC, the Quetzalcoatl, and you know, and how they can cause trouble, right? And that's kind of the thing, you know, that the game focuses on. So there you go. Long story short, right there. All right. So why in the hell, when he hits it, why is he not? There it is. Found it right there. Cat script. So when the computer gets activated, it's supposed to tell the cat, and that should have thrown an error. I don't know why it didn't. But so the computer never told the cat. That explains it. So let's save that. I never watched the TV shows. Watch the movies. Can you recommend any good episodes? Wow, that's a tough one because you're gonna have a lot of people have different mindsets. The Trouble with Tribbles is absolutely fantastic in terms of being lighthearted. The Mirror episode, Dark Mirror. It's funny because some of the episodes that are fantastic, right? They ended up getting kind of either remade or they would connect to the remake series, right? You know, like in DS9, they actually travel back in time to that world, to that time frame, and actually end up with the Tribbles as well. Let's see. Watch the. How innovative was Quake on other things like 3D design animations? Not okay. Not it really wasn't. I mean, because back, I like trippy, mind blowing kind of stuff. Sorry, I just saw that. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know because. Okay, sidetrack again, but there's a couple of forums on Facebook that are Star Trek related, and there's a lot of people that say, "Hey, I'm just getting into Star Trek for the first time, and I'm trying to watch the original series, and it's just kind of, boring to me, right?" And it's a tough call because the show it has evolved over the years, right? What is more movie-like nowadays, right? So if you look and you watch Star Trek Discovery is a much different beast compared to like the original series, right? The original series was shot in the Desilu stages in Culver City, where they had that classic television lighting, right? They would set the lights once and they would shoot everything all day with that one lighting rig, right? But with modern television, everything is shot movie-like, so every shot looks like it's beautifully lit, like it's from a film, and the storylines too. I mean, I think. We have a much quicker pace in our storytelling nowadays. So my point is I'm not sure if even TOS, the original series, is the first one to jump into for someone that's never experienced before. I guess I'd say yeah. Start with the original series and just begin right at the beginning, right? The Cage. I mean, if you can find it, that's the watch the original episode, not the pilot episode, right? But that has Pike in there, which comes back into Discovery as well. I don't actually like any of the new series, to be honest. It's very polarizing. I have a bunch of friends that love the original stuff and just don't do it. Cannot get into the new stuff, but you only enjoy the original series. A perfect example, right? And as far as I'm concerned, there's absolutely no right or wrong answer to this, right? In the same way that, to use an analogy, right? Doctor Who, right? Everyone has their favorite doctor, and it usually ends up being whomever you first started watching the show with, right? So for me, Rick Baker in the 70s, but when I came back to the new the reboot, right, with David Tennant, right, I really connected with him, so yeah, I mean, I totally get that. There's plenty of people that watch the new series and just, I can't watch the original because they're too slow and boring, even the next gen, which, to be honest, I don't know, I would probably say that original series was in some ways better than next gen, because I think next gen sort of gets bogged down so much in its storytelling that I think it sort of emphasizes that more than any sort of like sci-fi action or whatever, but unless Q's around or the Borg are around, and then it's a whole different matter. But anyways, so backtrack. I don't want to get lost on the miss this one thing you're talking about. Was Quake other things like 3D design animations? Not really for television, because Quake. The key difference was Quake used what was the format called, MK or something like that. So Quake didn't use bones, right? Quake used a point cache system. So all the characters that moved, it was recording every point on the object in every frame, right? And that's one reason why they were so low poly, because that's a lot of information to process, right? And it wasn't until a little later that they've finally started shifting into Bones, but I don't think I don't think there was really much influence there. It was more like something that happened in tandem, right? I mean, because where we are now is you have video game characters that are borderline movie quality, right? And I mean, helped by some fantastic in-game lighting as well as normal maps and tricks like that to make it beautiful. But now I think it was more the other way around. I think animation was sort of driving the quality, right? Rendered animation, and what would happen is the video games had to catch up, right? So once we had 3D accelerated cards, like I had the Voodoo 1, back in the day. I had the old Voodoo 1. I think that sort of like changed what was possible, right? Because before that it was all software driven, But I mean, in this day and age, man, I mean, that's another problem with calling back to what we were talking about before, about saying how difficult it is to make games now. One of the reasons I did focus on mobile was the fact that I could not even consider doing AAA, right? I can't, just as an independent person, I can't make AAA quality, right? I don't have the budget to do that. I'm sure you guys know this, but I mean, they spend literally hundreds of millions of dollars on AAA titles now, right? Because there's so much art content that is that high quality. So one of the saving graces about mobile back in the day was the fact that you could do stuff that was, to be blunt, primitive, right? I mean, it was not that gorgeous, but it was acceptable because it's mobile. But now mobile phones have gotten to the point where they're looking as good as AAA did, 7 to 10 years before, right? If not even more recent, right? I mean, it's just the fidelity that mobile can do means that you gotta really step up your game, right? Unless you're gonna do something more stylized. And that's where I'm trying to focus, is the fact that I'm still hanging on to stylized. Not like, I'm not talking like 8-bit retro kind of stuff, but I'm talking stuff that's more of, I'm not shooting for AAA, but I'm obviously shooting for quality, but in a cartoon style fashion. Well, kind of like what we see here, right? I mean, this was always originally intended to be a mobile game to begin with, right? And that kind of drove some of the stuff. And since then I've sort of expanded it and refined it to make it more appealing to consoles and PC. But all future titles will be the other way around, right? Whereas before I was doing mobile and then expanding. All future titles are going to be PC and console that will be shifted down to work on mobile, unless mobile just doesn't turn out to be profitable anymore, and then that may just not even happen, period. All right, so let me see. Oh wait, that's not even the right one, is it? How did I switch? Oh, because I that's right, I went down. So let me switch it back to 18, the one I just fixed. All right. Yeah, Trent Reznor's first commission soundtrack, because it was the advent of the CD, right? That was when we first started having CD disc players built into the computers, right? I wonder what Star Trek and Nine Inch Nails would be like. Loud. Yeah, that would be an interesting kind of thing. Well, I don't know. If Quentin Tarantino ever gets around to doing his version of Star Trek, I guess we'll get to find out. There he goes. Now he's going to the computer. You see the text down here. Right there. Wait, did he just walk through the wall there? Did I just screw that up because I paused it? I did. Okay. Oh, that's a bug. Okay. Yep. Definitely not done. That's a whole nother layer too, is pausing the game and having everything shut down. That was something that I completely forgot about and got in the process of fixing, and I thought I had it, but obviously I don't yet. And that is the realization that I'm sure you guys probably know this, and I should know it. For pausing, what I do is I'll just kind of hide everything, right? So that way everything freezes, and then turn it back on and it'll come back to life. But in doing so, that actually breaks any coroutines that are running, Have you watched Star Trek Discovery and or the Orville? Yeah. I have not seen the latest. I saw the first 2 seasons of Discovery, and I thought season 1 was okay. I thought season 2 was much better, and maybe that's just because Anson Mount, I think his name is, that plays Pike, is just so amazingly charismatic as the Pike character. Is absolutely fantastic. So I did enjoy that. Orville was a hard sell for me, to be honest. I had a soft spot for it just because, I had a bunch of visual effects friends that actually worked on the TV show, right, doing the visual effects. But to be honest, I thought it was trying so hard to be funny in the beginning, right? I thought some of the humor was just really missing. But as it went on, what was strange to me is I felt like the show was sort of letting go of some of the silly humor and evolving into more of like a recreation of not TOS, but Next Gen. I thought the end of season 1 for Orville and season 2 was feeling much more like in some ways, better version of Next Gen. There's still some of the humor that kind of misses sometimes for me, but I thought it was much improved. And yeah, looking forward to the next season of that one. How about you? Have you been able to watch the new season of Discovery? I think 3's out, isn't it? Or am I just smoking something? Yeah, that's right, because she has the longer hair. That's right. So there, I know that 3's out, but I have not seen 3 yet. Once again, because I'm not doing the screeners, the Television Academy screeners anymore, I don't have easy access to it, and I already have 3 streaming networks, so forking out the money for what used to be CBS All Access is now Paramount Plus. But once maybe like the new season of Picard finishes out, maybe I'll do that so I can like binge both of those. Picard was a bit of a disappointment for me. I mean, I won't go into whole details on that one, but I thought Picard was kind of missing the mark a bit. But yeah, Discovery grew on me. But I have a ton of my Star Trek fans that just, if it's after Voyager, then it's crap. I watched season 1 Discovery and only like 2 episodes of the next season. Couldn't watch more because I was waiting on a friend. I couldn't get through the cheated on my husband, and now he has to work for me in the Orville. Yeah. I mean, they do sort of like make that just a much in the background kind of storyline, but they do kind of touch on it again from time to time. But yeah, I can't fault you for that. And like I said, a lot of the humor, I think Seth is trying too hard, and I think if he dialed it down a bit, I think it would actually be naturally more funny on its own. But and I think those kind of shows are tough because unless you have like a really, really like tight showrunner, right, that is making sure that everything's true to what they're originally trying to shoot for, I think you have like floating deviations, and I a lot of shows suffer that, in my opinion. I mean, even like my Battlestar Galactica that I worked on, I thought it suffered from that big time, where it's kind of going in one direction and then suddenly it starts doing all this other stuff and you're kind of going, wait, what? Like Apollo suddenly, he's really fat, right? And then you see him working out on a bag one time and now he's skinny again. Wait, what? Wait, what? But and I think also it depends on where the source is coming from, right? Since you have shows like that, you have a bunch of people that are spitballing ideas, right, and seeing how the show evolves over time. But conversely, you know what? I said it before, I say it again. My favorite show of sci-fi ever, The Expanse. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I think it's solely based on the fact that you have a series of books that fleshes out the entire storyline, right? So you don't have deviations, right? No, I would never. No, especially the part where everyone dies when the whole thing blows up. No, I'm just kidding. It's my favorite show. Just because it's so it's science fiction, but just by that much, right? Um, but I don't feel like it at the moment. I hope you give it a try, man. I think it's absolutely brilliant because it feels like it takes place a couple hundred years in the future, and it feels like he doesn't feel like it for 2 years now. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely my favorite thing. It's just true, but still, it's I've said it before, but I mean, it feels like they just took a camera crew and put them into the future and just recorded what was going on for real, right? And it's the most realistic sci-fi show that's ever been made since 2001: A Space Odyssey, right? Maybe I'll watch it once you've watched Interstellar. That's not a fair trade, man. I'm sorry. That is absolutely not a fair trade. Interstellar bugs me. Sorry. No. Interstellar bugs the crap out of me. Uh-oh. I just lost him. That was the wrong thing to say. It is. Yeah, it was okay. And I just referenced 2001. Interstellar is trying to be 2001: A Space Odyssey. But it's got Matthew McConaughey in there, and it feels, it's kind of like it suffers the same thing that The Martian did, right? Where it could have been subtle with stuff, but instead it just sort of beats you over the head, going, "This is everything that's happening," right? And I just, I enjoyed so much of it for a long time, but. All right. Looks like we got someone who doesn't like. No. Actually, I really do. I actually really do like Matthew McConaughey. I just think that that was not the role for him, right? I would have liked to seen someone else in there, but no, not digging on Matthew McConaughey. There's absolutely plenty of stuff, that he's been absolutely fantastic in. So, no. I will not bag on him individually. I just thought in that movie, it just doesn't work, right? For me. But, and I mean, it's Chris Nolan, right? Yeah, it was Chris Nolan. I mean, Nolan drives me nuts, man. Chris Nolan either does stuff that is just like, oh my God, that's as good as film gets, or he does a movie and kind of go, just stop, man. No. And that was one that frustrated me. But, yeah. But this calls back to the fact that everyone's got opinions, right? I mean, this is not a right or wrong answer. This is just my personal viewpoint, but true that. But no, Expanse, because 2001: A Space Odyssey, even though it was made back in the 60s, absolutely nails what space flight feels like, right? I don't like Stranger Things and that Dustin kid. You're calling back to an old conversation. That's good. I like that. A million years ago. Yeah, which, by the way, not to get sidetracked, but where the hell's the new season, man? I'm waiting. That's a good memory. That's very good. But where the hell's the new season? I'm waiting for that. Come on. I can't get my wife to watch it, right? We watched like 2 episodes and she's like, yeah, I'm out. So, Hoppers in Russia, let's go. Yeah, I know they did that teaser, right? They did the teaser like feels like 5 years ago. You see the teaser, you kind of go, okay, it's coming. Wait, where is it? Come on. But yeah, so 2001: Space Odyssey. I mean, just because, everything, the way they handle zero gravity and everything like that, right? Every other sci-fi show that I can think of, there's always artificial gravity, right? And that drives me nuts. I mean, how does artificial gravity work? Well, it's technology, right? We science the shit out of it, right? To quote The Martian, but Expanse is simple, right? If a ship is moving forward, you have that level of thrust that pushes you into, a wall, right? Otherwise, you have to wear metal boots, magnetic boots that keep you from floating off into the ceiling. I love that. Some of the kids did a lot of movies. It, Ghostbusters, and the Netflix Sherlock. Yeah, yeah. What was it called? Yeah, Millie. She did the Sherlock one. That's true. Um, yeah, and the older sister, she was in a horror film, I think, too, that got like a 3.5 or 4.0 on IMDb, which is not a good sign. but but yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it's already in the can, but yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if it's just a visual effects thing. I mean, I personal experience, I know how long that stuff takes, but it does seem like that stuff should have been in the can for quite a while now. Have you seen Logan? The child of Logan is playing the main character in his Dark Materials. Really? Really? Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I did see Logan. Cowboy Bebop has artificial gravity solved with centrifugal force, which you see in all ship designs, which is pretty cool, I think. Yeah, okay, no, that's the exception. Okay, if I see, but I mean, yeah, but once again, 2001: A Space Odyssey. We're talking the 60s, and that's exactly how they were able to make that work. They had the spinning cylinder, right? They have a beautiful shot where you see him jogging on that, and it goes around like that, right? And we're talking 60s. So yeah, if you ever show me a ship that has that rotational kind of concept with the centrifugal forces, then I'm cool. That's fine. But it's when it's like all the other sci-fi shows where people just stick to the floor because it's there. No, it's just, I mean, I understand why, right? We shoot on a planet that has gravity, so to try and fake that would just be way too expensive and nutty. But that's why I appreciate all the shows that do it all the more. And with The Expanse, once again, no spoilers, but when people are walking around, right, you see them walking around, but you always hear their magnetic boots catching on the metal, right? So you always know, and they push it loud too. Traditionally, Foley sound effects are just put in the background, right? They're just really, really faint. But whenever someone's walking around with those magnetic boots, man, you hear it front and center. Just so because and that's exactly the way I think it would be like. I like it when they do stuff like that. I do too, man. And that's just the turn and burn, the way the ships, the ships aren't X-Wings and TIE fighters, right? They obey traditional physics, and it's not like one of those things, turn around and chase that ship. It doesn't work that way, I don't like that when shows treat the viewer like a simpleton. Well, there goes about 85% of all television shows, I think. But yeah, and that's exactly why I think The Expanse is, I know I keep harping about that, but there's just that is my favorite thing, man. And they just released that new season, and for me and my wife, we've actually gone through all the books, right, that are available, audiobooks. And so for me, it's just it's fantastic just to see what's in my head, right, from those audiobooks brought to life on the show. And it's just just so amazing. But one more season, and you gotta wait a year for that. But so anyways, so yeah, and I mean, anything sci-fi, I will jump onto it. Thinking about it now, in his Dark Materials, they talk so much, and you gotta remember what was said in episodes ago, or else you might get lost. So I like that. I like that where they don't spoon feed it, right? If you do pay attention, right, and you get rewarded like that. I applaud shows that do that. But I mean, I'm always a sucker for sci-fi, and I will fire up what I know is gonna suck, right? I'm just hoping that maybe it'll turn out to be surprising. Most recently, Netflix added Space Sweeper. No. I watched the first 15-20 minutes, and I was completely brought in. It's like, oh, this is, the new Korean movie, exactly. I watched the first 15-20 minutes, and it's kind of like, this is awesome, man. I don't know why people are giving it bad reviews. About 20 minutes later, it's kind of like, oh, okay, that was kind of stupid. And about another half hour after that, it's kind of like, just finish. Just go ahead. Give me the credits, man. And it's just, it's so frustrating because it would not take that much to make it a fantastic movie. But in the end, it basically ends up being Cowboy Bebop meets Elysium. and it's just like that. It's a miss. Some really nice visual effects. Kudos to the team, whomever in Korea that actually did the visual effects. They're actually really nice. The camera gets a little jumpy, quickie, whipping around sometimes, but generally speaking, it was shot. I read for like 25 million. That looks really pretty for $20 million. Excuse me. To me, it's like, if you spend millions on a show or movie, please get some writers that know what to do and a producer that can make it real. And you know what? I'm going to repeat myself. I'm sure I've talked about this sometime in the past, but that lesson will never get learned. My favorite example, and if you can stop me if this registers with you, I talked about it before, but Alien 3. Alien 3 is the perfect example of how messed up the whole system is. They set up the shooting dates, right? Every DCU movie. But Alien 3, I think, is the ultimate. So it was the featured directorial debut of David Fincher, right? And the studio set up a start date and they set up a release date. What they didn't set up was a finalized script. So they literally had the amazingly talented Walter Hill. Look him up on IMDb, right? If you look at all the movies he's done over the years, he's amazing. They get Walter Hill, they literally put him in a hotel room, lock him away with a fax machine, because this is pre-internet, and every night he would write the next day's scenes out and then fax it to the set. So they would have to take the fax, make copies, and hand it out, and they would shoot that on a daily basis. You're just kind of going, what? But it's like, once a movie gets greenlit, right, and once that train starts moving, there's nothing that stops it, not even having a shooting script, and it's just that's insane to me. But yeah, I don't know if it's one of those things that, if it's like the script wasn't there to begin with, going back to Space Sweepers, but or if it's just one of those things that it changed on the set. But yeah. And I finally got around to watching Another Life. Speaking of BSG, you have Starbuck in there. But I made it one episode in, and it's just like the characters just make me hate. It's bad drama with a spaceship in the background. That just kills me. I think that whoever's in charge just accepts whatever they like personally. There's probably some truth to that. There's a lot of people that believe that the old industry was just, because originally studios were run by people that made movies, right? And that was much more conducive to getting a cleaner vision, I think. But just personally speaking, I also know how many layers there are too. Just in the last project I was working in, I had 5 voices above me. So I would do something, and I'd have 5 people at any point that could change the shot completely, and sometimes contradictory. So you would go one way, and then someone would tell you, no, go the opposite way, and you redo it the opposite way, and then it goes up a couple rungs, and it's like, no, go that way, and you're going back to where you were before. So I think that contributes to some degree. After Jurassic Park 1, they butchered 2, 3, and 1 and 2. Yeah, but I think Jurassic Park 1, the best thing it has going for it is the cutting edge visual effects. Well, cutting edge for the time, right? That's always been my personal litmus test, is every movie has a massive gimmick, right? And if you pull that gimmick out, do you still have a movie that's watchable? And to be honest, I don't think Jurassic Park has a watchable movie if you pull the dinosaurs out. I guess that's why some people have a good record when continually working with the same good team. Yeah, absolutely. But even the best director is going to have a miss occasionally, right? I think that's totally a possible thing. But yeah, I'm trying to think of someone that's had perpetual. I can't even think of anyone that I look at and say that this person's made nothing but classics. I think every director that I admire, appreciate, I can point to something in their repertoire and kind of go, yeah, that was a miss, man. That was just a total miss. But pulling out the dinosaurs is the main thing. The only reason why everyone is doing what they do, so it's not a good example. No, it is, because that was the draw, right? It's like, you got to go see Jurassic Park because they bring dinosaurs back to life and it feels like they're real. So that was the hook. The hook is they gave you a roller coaster ride of a movie that felt immersive, right? I mean, Avatar is another example where it's like, you get to go to this other world, right? And it's just, it's amazingly immersive, and if you pull that out, then you kind of go, wait a second, Kevin Costner made this movie like 15 years ago, right? Better 15 years ago, so that's my test, right? So if you find another movie that, if you take out that one big draw and you still have a compelling story, then to me that's impressive, right? That's when you have a fantastic movie, which doesn't happen often. And the trade-off, though, and the counter to that is, and I've said before, is that whatever that gimmick is, if it's an amazing enough gimmick, it can compensate for the shortcomings. The dinosaurs were so amazing during that time that it made up for the lackluster story, in my opinion. But if you take out the dinosaurs, there's nothing left because they are everything. Well, but I mean, you could you don't have to make it dinosaurs. You could make it like some other form of creature that that evolved, like Congo, right? You have intelligent apes, right? I mean, there's you could substitute for something else, but that kind of is my point. Godzilla, the 2014 movie, there was a lot of stuff that had nothing to do with Godzilla, and most scenes sucked. Yeah. Let's see. Was that the Jean Reno version, or was that the other rebooted version? There's been like 20 Godzilla reboots over the years. I'm not even sure which one. Or is that the Cranston one? God, was that 6 years ago? Walter White Cranston version? Because that was one. Yeah, okay, yeah. Watched it on Blu-ray, and I kind of went, yeah. It did seem like Godzilla was more of the background character, right? In my opinion, but we still got, it did well enough that we got Godzilla versus Kong coming eventually, I guess, right? Oh man. All right, I guess we got a little sidetracked there, and I still got stuff to fix. But and I normally say I just do an hour, and I'm already at an hour and a half. So what do you think? Should I just wrap it up here? Okay, not yet. But then take Kong, for example. You can take Kong out of the movie, and it'll still be good because yes, Kong was the main character, but the other characters would have acted the same without Kong being there. Which version? If you're talking about the original, way back when, right? And instead of being the new movie. Which, jeez. The Kong Song. Really? Ooh, really? I mean, I love Loki, man. I think he's a fantastic actor, but that movie felt more video game than movie to me. That one just, it felt very disjointed, I think. I don't know. That felt like they had rewrites throughout, right? There's like scenes that happened that felt like they were bigger storylines in the original draft, but got written out, but not completely. So they're there, but then just sort of get abandoned real quickly. So, yeah. I mean, it was a fun roller coaster ride, but I don't know if I would say there was, especially with the Village people. Yeah, exactly. Good point. But yeah, Loki automatically gets 2 stars. Just anything he's in. He's just so cool. And yeah, if you've never seen Night Manager, go see him in Night Manager. He is just absolutely like a chameleon. He's amazing at disappearing into roles. Completely amazing at that. But yeah, all right. So what did I do here? The village were just there so a non-villager can tell. Mm-hmm. Thank you. You're making my point for me right there. All right. So did I fix 18? I think I did fix 18. That's right. I was chatting away, but I think actually if we look here, yeah, I did fix this. So now, boom. Target computer. Good. All right. So, and this is why since Monday I haven't actually finished all this stuff. You can see how time consuming, even the talking, chatting part aside, but you know, at least I did finally get all the pieces in place, but it's just a matter of making sure that they're all behaving correctly. And the pause scares the hell out of me. I gotta figure out what's going on with the pause there and make sure I get that fixed. I've seen like 5 episodes of Night Manager, loved it, but kind of fell off. I also like the other guy, Hugh Grant. I don't know, Dr. House. Okay. Well, I mean, Night Manager isn't like super exciting. It's more of a slow burn for sure. Yeah. Or Dr. House. Yeah. I thought it was just it was a fun, almost like Hitchcock, right? Because Hitchcock was the master of taking an ordinary individual and hoisting them into this, you know, insane storyline that they're just sort of hanging on, you know, for the ride. Fell off as in I forgot to watch it and then forgot it existed. Fair enough. I got plenty of those as well that I drift off of and never quite get around to finishing up. Yeah. All right. There you go. Do one more. Do a toss for Penny. Actually, I'm going to go do the real thing before it gets dark here. I'll go do the real thing in the backyard to make her happy. You know, unless she's here. Let's see. Should I let, yeah, it goes blank. Give it a second. I'll never figure out what that glitch was, but should I let Penny do her little cameo here before I call it a day? Let me see if I can get her in here. Right? Here we go. Uh-huh. Yeah. So I think she's ready. I think she's ready for the real thing. She is. She's an insane, crazy ball of fur, but adorable. Uh-huh. All right. So that's my cue. I got to go make her happy. But, yeah, Lucchini, thanks for coming by again and for chatting again, catching up on old times. I'll be back again on Friday doing this shortened version, but hopefully this will be addressed and I'll be working on some other fun stuff. Thanks for streaming and chatting with us. Fun like always. Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming by. It is, you know, I'm all locked up in the house here, so this is as close as I get to chatting with people these days. But, yeah, great, man. I will be back on Friday. Until then, you guys take care of yourselves. I'm going to go give Penny... One more? You want one more cameo? Okay. All right. I'm going to go take care of her. All right, Lucchini. Good to see you. I will see all you guys on Friday. Oh, before I go, let me just do one little gratuitous plug here. Because I keep forgetting to do this. As always, if you guys want to chat with me outside of here, you can always reach me on Discord. There you go. There's my Discord channel. Please come on over there and say hello. I'm not as active as I should be, but chat and I will chat back, I promise. But yeah, Friday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. What am I, like 8 hours behind GMT? So, not a huge Discord guy, but still. Thanks, man. I did notice that too. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, I got to try and get more active on there. I get so distracted. But that'll do it, guys. Have yourselves a fine day, and I will see you all back here on Friday. All right? Take care, folks. Bye.